Cecil Duggar was born in a farmhouse on a 200-acre farm near the city of Farmersville in North Texas. He was the second in a family of 4 children. Cecil and his siblings attended a one-room country school. They rode to school on a 2-wheel cart pulled by a Shetland pony. Their dad built the cart using the front axle and front wheels of a Model T Ford. After Cecil completed the 7th grade, a school bus route was established that went by the farmhouse, and he was able to transfer to the Farmersville Elementary School for the 8th grade. After a few skirmishes during recess with the city boys, the principal told him, "Cecil, unless you change your ways, you will never amount to a hill of beans." High school went better for Cecil. He played football and served as an officer in the local FFA chapter. He remembers the FFA motto to this day: learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve. Upon graduation from high school, Cecil entered Texas A&M University. Unfortunately, after a couple of months, he was forced to drop out of school because of an eye problem. After recuperating from eye surgery, he moved to Lamar, Colorado, where he worked as an electrician's helper and an appliance repairman. During his 2-year stay there, he completed an electrical engineering correspondence course from Chicago-based American schools. Cecil then returned to Texas A&M and enrolled in Air Force ROTC. But before he could finish the first semester, the Lamar Selective Service Board sent a letter requesting that he take a physical examination to be inducted into the Army. Upon receipt of this letter, he immediately went to Houston and joined the U.S. Navy. Cecil said boot camp was a breeze after being hazed as a freshman at Texas A&M. Cecil first served in the U.S. Navy in San Diego, where he was in charge of shore sailors who maintained the electrical equipment of the Navy's harbor craft. He later served as the leading electrical petty officer aboard the American destroyer USS Arnold J. Isbell, DD 869. While aboard the Isbell, Cecil traveled across the Pacific Ocean to Hawaii, Midway Island, Japan, Korea, Okinawa, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Cecil completed his 4-year enlistment in the Navy at the rate of Petty Officer First Class. He then enrolled at Texas A&M for the 3rd time. With support from the Korean Education Bill, Cecil obtained both his bachelor's and master's degrees in just 3 years. During this time at Texas A&M, he met his future wife, Geneva Nall. Cecil went to work as a biology teacher at Mineral Wells High School and then Mount Pleasant High School, both in Texas. He later was an instructor of electronics and was appointed head of the technology department at Cameron Junior College in Lawton, Oklahoma, where he also served as director of the district science fair. After 4 years at Cameron, Cecil came to Oklahoma State University as an assistant professor of technical education. During his first 3 years at OSU, he obtained his pilot's license and completed his doctoral degree in higher education. Cecil was asked to be one of a 5-member OSU team to help Thailand further develop their vocational and technical education programs. Due to his efforts throughout the Thai kingdom and his involvement with OSU-Thai cooperation, Dr. Duggar was honored by the Thai royal family. He was presented a plaque by the Princess Her Royal Highness Maha Chaikri Sirindhorn in recognition of his distinguished involvement and continuous support for the academic alliance between Oklahoma State University, USA, and Thai universities. While working as an educational advisor throughout the Kingdom of Thailand, Cecil frequently visited an orphanage. Once, Geneva accompanied him, and as a result, they adopted a 7-month-old Thai girl, Teresa. Although Teresa grew up mostly in Stillwater, her 2 college degrees are from the University of Oklahoma. She and her husband Eric have 2 children and currently live in Louisville, Texas. In addition to conducting classes on campus and throughout the state, Dr. Duggar has served on OSU's faculty council and many college and university committees. He has received many awards at OSU, including the International Student Organization Advisor of the Year, College of Education Educator of the Year, and the Joe Abels Award, the highest honor bestowed by the Oklahoma Technical Society. Cecil has been asked annually since 1970 to serve as the faculty advisor to the OSU Thai Student Association. Many OSU Thai students and graduates have visited in the Duggar's home, including OSU Thai University presidents, Thai government officials, and CEOs of Thai businesses. After a 2-year commitment in Thailand, the Duggars traveled back to Stillwater, and Cecil worked as an associate professor in the School of Occupational and Adult Education. In addition to his regular on-campus courses, Cecil conducted OSU extension classes at many different sites throughout the state. Dr. Duggar was then asked to join the Department of Aviation and Space Education, where he became a full professor and continued teaching for the College of Education, both on campus and throughout Oklahoma. Not long after returning to the United States from Thailand, Cecil and Geneva were given the opportunity to adopt a 10-year-old Vietnamese orphan. Since he was already 10, Cecil and Geneva let Hu Duc Nguyen choose his own American name. He chose to be called Jacob Hu Duggar. Jacob continued to grow up in Stillwater and earned his bachelor's degree from OSU. Jacob and his wife, Anne, have 2 sons, and they live near Sherman, Texas. In the mid-1980s, the Duggar family went to Jamaica, where Dr. Duggar served as an education advisor to help that country further develop the residential vocational schools that are similar to the Job Corps centers in America. As for the FFA motto, it has served Cecil well all his life. Learning to do. In addition to his study at Texas A&M and OSU, Cecil has taken postgraduate work at Baylor University, East Texas State University, the University of Houston, the University of Illinois, and Colorado State University. Doing to learn. Cecil's doing included on-the-job training on the farm, electrical work, serving in the U.S. Navy, and teaching in high school, junior college, and at the university level. Earning to live. Cecil has supported himself and his family through electrical work, the U.S. Navy, and his teaching at high school, college, and the university. Living to serve. Dr. Duggar has served both domestic and international students, the U.S. Navy, and through the local hospice organization. At the end of the day after classes, student advisement, committee work, and travel, Dr. Duggar still made time for family and God. And remember that elementary school principal who said, "Cecil, if you don't change your ways, you will not amount to a hill of beans"? Well, Dr. Duggar says, you can draw your own conclusions on that.